Okay, here's part 2 of PARCC testing. In part 1, we went over some of the features found right over here under where it says guest. We also went over the calculator and a couple other features as well. So one feature I do want to show you is flagging a question. So I'm going to click flag, and we're going to get back to what that does and where you find it in a little bit. So let's just flag that for now, and that will be known as a question that we want to go check out in a little while. So let me continue on. I'm going to skip a few slides here in this tutorial and go to something history right here. So here I have on the right just a place to answer A, B, C, or D for this question regarding the reading passage to my left. So just so you know, there's a scroll bar that we traditionally know on the right hand side, and we also have a scroll bar within this story that allows us to scroll up and down through the story. Now this is a very lengthy passage, but it's a perfect time to use a tool that can help us. There's a built-in tool, a highlighting tool. All I do is hold down my mouse button and drag it across, and I can click whatever color highlighting that I want. Since this is a lengthy passage, it certainly come in handy. I can choose different colors, even do a color coding type of pattern if I wanted to. The same thing works on any of the questions or any of the answers. It could be a math problem, a reading problem, question. It does not matter. So feel free to use the highlighting tool at any time. If I need to take the highlighting off, the option right here will do that. It takes it right off. Okay, let's move on. Go jump ahead a little bit. Okay, now we're at the video player. I can click play, and that's going to play the video. Luckily, most of us are familiar through YouTube and other video players and websites because the player's pretty much universal. I'll click on it, and here we go. Okay, so here you can see the video played. I have a lot of the controls down here at the bottom. I have a play, which turns into a pause. That's universal, play or pause. I see how much of the video has played. I see how much of the video is left to play, and I also have the volume control if I need to adjust the volume. Here, this allows me to slide down and start the video, or replay the video, or rewind the video, or fast forward the video to a certain spot. Some questions on the PARCC may ask you to go to a certain point in the video, let's say 1 minute and 30 seconds, and play it from there to answer a question. So it is important to know how to go forward and advance and backwards in the video, just if you need something clarified or if you need to just go to a certain point. I'm going to click yes, the video did play as expected, and we'll continue on. Okay, here we go with this question. So we notice a difference. There are circles and there are squares. The circle means that there can only be one answer for this particular question. And you see as I click, it automatically deselects one area and selects another. But for part B, where we have a square, this allows you to select multiple boxes, and you see the check mark shows up. So be careful to read whatever the question is. Some may ask for multiple options. Some may say pick 2 or pick 3. So it's always important to read the question to see what they're asking for. So let's move on. This is an easy question, but good to practice. So let's sort by dragging and dropping our even and odd numbers. This will come into play too for even language arts, where you have to order a story, organize main ideas and things like that. So there'll be a lot of dragging and dropping to order things. Okay, so here we have a fraction model. So if you have to divide this circle up, maybe in half, and then you can color in 1/2 just by clicking, that will signify 1/2. Or I could add more, 2/3, or more, 1/2 again, 3/4, or I can just reset and start over again. So you'll see a lot of interactive questions like this. So it's important to get a little practice to get experience in how you use them. There's also a lot of fill in the blanks with drop-down menus. So 3 times 5 equals 15. So this you'll find not only on math, but also with language arts as well. Here we have to plot some points So if I look, we have time at 1 and results at 20. I'll plot that point. Then I'll go up to 2 and 40, and I'll go on and continue. Now, oops, if I made a mistake, not a problem. All I have to do is click to remove my points, and it kind of acts like an eraser. So I click to add a point, and I click to remove a point. So definitely get some practice with that so you're comfortable using the graph and plotting feature. Okay, I'm at the end of the test, but you might remember earlier I flagged a question. So I want to go back to review answers. Here I have a whole list of the test questions. You can see some are answered, some are not answered, and at any point I can just go over to view and view that question. So here's that one I flagged earlier. So let me go back and view that one. So here's the question. Let's say I'm ready to answer it now. A is correct. I'm satisfied. I'm going to move on. I can go back to my review if I'd like. If you have a section of the test that has lots of questions, this is very helpful to know. I can filter it by not answered. It'll only list the questions that are not answered. Or I can list the ones that are simply flagged. And I can go immediately back to that view, and it takes me right to that question. Once I'm done, I'm satisfied that I've answered all the questions and did the best I could. I'm going to click End Section and then Submit Final Answers. Once I submit my final answers, I cannot go back and change any of my answers. So I'm going to submit, and it gives me one more test warning. Yes, submit final answers. Now I'm done with that section of the PARCC test. So good luck, give it a try yourself, and practice using some of those tools.